Lois with Aussie Lozzie Knit Designs, and I'm so excited to be here today and be showing you how to do the spaced out Picot cast-on method, which is what is used for my latest pattern, Pretty on the Wrong Side scarf. So this pattern does have a Picot cast on, but we're going to add some additional stitches in there so that they're evenly spaced throughout. Let's go ahead and switch to our hands so that we can get started. Real quick, before I get too far into this, if you enjoy this video, would you please hit like, share, and subscribe to my channel? That would be fabulous. And I also would love to see comments if you're knitting this scarf, what yarn you used. And if you decided to go ahead and keep the picots, if you omitted them, I'd love to know all of that good stuff. So this is the cast on edge. So as you can see, it does have picots, but there's this nice big space in between them. And so, and then there's picots all the way up the side, and there is picots on the bind off, which you just saw. So we want to learn how to do the spaced out Picot cast on method. If you're familiar with the Picot cast on method in general, this will be really easy because we're just going to add stitches in between the picots. But if you're not familiar, it's okay. We're going to learn how to do it today. So the first thing we want to do is we want to get our yarn with a tail and make a slip knot. So let me just do that real quick. There we go. And then to do the Picot cast on, you want to use the knit cast on method to get going. And so that's how we're going to start. So we want to put our slip knot on our left hand needle. And then I always like to hold that tail end out of the way. And so if you're unfamiliar with the knit cast on method, I'm going to go ahead and walk it through with you real quick. So what we want to do is we want to take our right hand knitting needle, insert it into the slip knot knitwise. Okay, that's why it's called the knit cast on method, because we're using a knit stitch. So we wrap the yarn just like we would for a knit stitch. Pull that through, and then once we have the stitch on our right hand needle and we want to transfer that over to our left hand needle, but we don't want to just slip it like normal. We want a little twist in there. So what we're going to do is take our left hand needle down and point it towards our thumb, and then come back and scoop that stitch up. Okay, so we actually want to cast on 4 of these. And now you should have 5 stitches on your needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I am using 2 strands of sport weight yarn, which is making my total weight a little bit more thick than a double knit, but it is 100% cotton and it will still be light. And I just wanted to use these 2 yarns because I've had them forever. So anyway, so now that I have 5 stitches on, I want to go ahead and make my first picot, and I'm going to do that by using the basic bind off method and taking off 3 stitches. Okay, so you insert your knitting needle into the first stitch as to knit, and we're going to knit it, and then we're going to do that, knit that second stitch. Okay, and then we're going to insert our left hand needle into the first stitch that we knit, pass it over the second, and we've bound off 1 stitch. Let's do that again. And that's 2 stitches, bound off. And then let's do that again. And now we have bound off 3 stitches. Okay, so now we have a stitch on our right hand needle and a stitch on our left hand needle, but we need them both on our left hand needle. So we're just going to go ahead and slip that over. Easy peasy, okay? And start the whole process again, but this time, so that we can get that space between the picots, we're going to cast on 7 stitches. So here we go. I'm going to insert. Okay, now I want to go ahead and bind off 3 stitches. So I'm going to go knit 1, knit 2, pass the first stitch over the second, right? And then knit another, pass the first over the second, and that's bound off 1, 2, and this is my third. Okay, just like that. And now I have another picot. It's so cute. And I'm going to go ahead and transfer this stitch over. So in the pattern, I talk about how you can customize the width of your pattern. If you want like a wider scarf or if you want a thinner scarf, you can go ahead and make adjustments. So this is why the pattern is set at intervals of multiples rather of 4 stitches plus 2. So our first picot on this side creates uh, one one picot is held together by 2 stitches, and then from there on out to get the spaces, we've got those like 2 stitches in the middle and then the 2 that hold on to the picots. So basically it's 4 multiples of 4 plus the 2 for the selvage edge. And so if you want a thinner scarf or a wider scarf, all you need to do is add in multiples of 4. But remember to keep that 2 for the beginning, okay? So whatever number, like let's say you want to do 40 stitches, okay? You need to add 2 more for the selvage edge, right? Because 40 divided by 4 is 10, but there's nothing left for that final picot. So you'll want to go ahead and add 42, if that makes any sense. Yeah, and so that's how you do the spaced out picot cast-on method. Now, if you wanted to eliminate the picot edges, you can do that and do a different cast-on method. If you want to increase the number of picots, you can do that as well. And so just keep an eye on your multiples, right? So if you want to like have more picots, you don't want it spaced out, that's fine too. What you want to do in that case is you want to cast on 5 stitches and bind off 3. And that way you'll be increasing by 2 and you won't have a big gap in between. So if you go that route, right, it just has to be in multiples of 2 plus the 2 for the selvage. That's easy. If you need help, leave a comment below because I am loving to help you guys. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.